Today I'd like to share with you a few really easy doodles, and these are perfect for beginners, or even if you're experienced, you should be able to enjoy these. So mostly the reason that I wanted to do something that was a lot simpler was just because I think sometimes I want to draw, but I don't want to make anything complicated. So today I want to kind of just go with some really familiar forms, which are flowers and leaves. And I'm just going to fill this small piece of paper. This only measures about 5 inches by 5.5, so it's a pretty small piece of paper. Again, the reason for something this small is just so that I'm not too overwhelmed. So again, we're just going to draw flowers today, and we're just going to have a good time for a few minutes just to kind of de-stress for a little while. If you don't know me, my name is Betsy, and I like to provide doodling and drawing tutorials. So how about we get started on this one? So let's see, I think I want to start off with a couple of fairly large flowers, and I'm just going to put a couple of them throughout. So let's see, how do I want to do this? I think I just want to start with a circle for this one. And so when I say large flower, I don't mean that it's inherently a big flower, but just that on the scale of my paper here, it's kind of going to be a little bit large because then I'm going to fill it with lots of little ones. So I'm just starting with some kind of circle, a little bit wonky, that's fine. No need for perfect circles. And then I'm just going to start putting some petals around it. Now I could use a pencil. I'm going to show you what I can do sometimes. If you're uncertain about your petals being the right length, sometimes I use a pencil to create like a little circle this way. So let me zoom in just a little. I just make a circle with a pencil so that it makes it easier for me to put petals. You don't have to do this, of course. There's no need for that. It's just something in case you're feeling a little bit unsure, and you can just go ahead and make some of your petals there. These are going to be nice round little petals. And I'm just going to start working my way around. I'm not marking off where they're going to go. I'm just going to go with the flow. And as I'm making these, I'm just thinking about making sure that as these lines get close to that circle, I'm pretending like I'm going to a point right here in the middle. That's what I'm trying to do. So notice how I'm kind of heading towards that point in the center. And that's an imaginary point for me most of the time. I don't really have a point there. And so I'm just going to keep working my way around. If I'm lucky, so right here I think I can fit 2 petals. So I'm just going to put one here and one here. That's pretty easy. And now the next thing I'm going to do is, of course, I'm going to start by erasing that pencil line right there. That's a good start. I didn't really need it in the first place. It's just a little bit of an assistant, just in case I'm feeling unsure about the way my flowers look. But something that's going to make it really cute is I'm just going to add a couple of lines right here inside of each petal. Let's do that. So here's 2 lines. Here's another one. I'm just going to work my way around. Nice and easy. Now it's really nice because I am using a brush pen right now. This is a Fudenosuke. It is a brush pen by Tombow. So I'm just working around. Alright, so that looks pretty good. And so I think what I'm just going to do is I'm going to work my way around the paper here. And I'm just going to add a couple more of these little guys. So how about I work over here? I think I want 3 of these. I'm going to make another one here. But I am going to change up my flower a little bit. Again, we're just playing around. We're having fun. So this flower you can see is already going to be a little larger than the one before. And the nice thing I want to do right now is I'm going to just add some circles here. Why not? These don't have to be real flowers. These are stylized, and we are just doodling and playing, and so I'm going to add these little circles here. It's like this flower is wearing jewelry. Little circles. Okay, ooh, and I got lucky too, and they fit in just fine. If they don't fit for you, don't worry about it. We're just playing around. And so now that I have this circle, now I want to decide on what kind of petals I want to make. And I could do all sorts of things, of course. I could make them just like the one before, nice and round like that. I think how about this time, I'm going to start with something just a little different. It's going to be unique. So let's play around. So I'm going to start up here. I'm going to make this little teardrop. So that's a good start. I'm going to make another one down here as well. So now they're on opposite sides. Let me turn it. I'm going to put another one here. Imagine like you're looking at the north, south, east, and west here. So we've got these quadrants now. I'm going to add more here. So now I'm splitting it up into eighths. So there will be 8 sections. And I don't really know what I'm designing right now. I'm just kind of playing around, just trying to see what happens. So currently I have these little teardrop shapes, kind of 8 of them. Let's see here. How about we make petals on top of those? Let's see what happens. So I want to make a shape here. So an arch. Let's call that an arch. Let's see what happens. Let's make some arches. I'm not going to worry about the size. I'm just going to work my way around, making some arches. You'll notice sometimes they're a little bigger and a little smaller. That's fine. I'm not going to worry about that. Again, the whole point is we're trying to relax. We're just playing. There's no need to seek perfection. There's no need to make this look like anything in particular. So I have my arches. Notice definitely looks like a flower. That's pretty good. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a few more arches to each one. So here's another. And you know what? Why not? Let's go for a third. So I'm going to continue adding arches to each one. So here's a second. And a third. Each time I'm just going to keep adding a few more. There we go. Looks pretty good so far. It looks interesting. If I have time, I might color it, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's just a nice, quick little exercise. If you want to, you can always turn these into little mandalas. There's always that. So there we go. So here's a nice little flower design. And I think like before, I want to add a few lines to the inside. I think I just really like doing that. So right here on the inside of each of these petals that we've created, I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to put a little dot. And then a line and a dot. I think I'm going to do 3 of them. It's like a letter I. A line with a dot. So it's going to be a long one, and then 2 short ones next to that. They're kind of branching out like that. So no matter what kind of drawing or doodling you like to do, this is always nice, is to just try something that's got some of that radial symmetry. Drawing patterns that kind of go around in a circle, just repeating. It's always nice. And if you do draw mandalas, those are wonderful as well. They really kind of get your mind busy. I just feel that for me sometimes I want the look of a mandala, but I don't want to kind of bust out all the rulers and all those tools. So for me, drawing flowers is a pretty close second. So you can see we've got 1 flower, 2 flowers. That's pretty nice so far. I think I'm going to add some little design elements here to the flower. So in between each of these large petals, I'm going to add another, you could call it a petal or a leaf. So I'm going to add that. And then next to that, these little pearls. I think that's a good start. And then I might add another little pearl. How about that? Oh, I like that. So it's like a big one and a little one. I'm going to do that in between each of these. So let's go through and do that. So there's the leaf, big pearl, little pearl. And then to the left, same thing as well. So big pearl, little pearl. And I'm just going to work my way around like that. Now remember, this isn't a very big drawing. You are absolutely welcome to do this on a large piece of paper, no problem. It's not a problem at all. Use what you got, you know? If you have a big notebook, little notebook, whatever it is, just use that one. If you got lined paper or graph paper, just use that. I know sometimes so many of us eventually start to think like, oh, I need official drawing paper. I need to be a real artist. That's fine. Whatever you've got. You can be an artist no matter what materials you're using, no matter what pen you're using. Just find what works for you. So what I have right now that I'm drawing on is just regular sketch paper. I had a bunch of it that was just loose, so I just tend to cut it up into these smaller little sheets so that when I feel like just playing around, I can use them. And if I like it, I can add it into my journal. I can just glue it in. And if I don't like it, if I think it just didn't come out the way I wanted, it's okay. I had the experience. I enjoyed it. I had fun. And then I can just kind of move on. I can do whatever I want with it afterwards. I can cut it up. I can throw it away. I can glue it into my journals. You can make a greeting card out of it. So here we go. Here's our flower. That looks really cute. So far, pretty good. So we have a fairly large flower and a medium-sized flower. So now that I saw how nice all these little designs turned out around my flower, how about I put a few on this one as well? So I think I just want to make these little beads. I liked those very much. So it's a circle in between each of these petals. Why not do that? I'm already here. I thought it looked really nice adding those. So I'm just going to add those. Just working my way around here, adding those circles. I liked it a lot. Again, that symmetry just looks so nice. I'm not even sure how many petals are in this one, but it doesn't really matter. So I have those circles there now, very cute. So how about we start adding another flower over here? I'm going to do a few that are fairly simple. So again, it's that variation in the patterns is what's going to look nice. So I think I'm just going to do a very simple 5 petals. Just converging on this one point. So it's not complicated at all. So just like that. There's 2. Here's 3, 4, 5. And just like before, inside of each petal, I'm going to make a little line like that. Just one little line. That's fine. And that's very cute. I like that. I'm going to add a couple more. And I think for this drawing, I'm not going to have any of the flowers touch. I'm just going to leave them kind of slightly spaced. So I'm going to do my best to make sure my flowers don't touch each other. Not for any particular reason, just that's what I'm deciding to do here. And notice it is absolutely fine if all your petals are different sizes. No need to worry about that. Wonky petals on a flower look great. They can be different sizes and different widths. So there we go. I just added a couple little flowers. Let me put another one over here. Little tiny baby flowers. Okay, so I'm just kind of filling in that space. How about, I think I need to put another flower over here. Not quite level with this one, but I think it's going to be over here somewhere. So I'm going to make a circle here. How about here? Not too big. About the size of that first flower that we made. So I'm going to use that. And we're going to make something else here. So let's see here. What can we do? How about we make some of these petals that are a little bit pointed since we've done so many round ones. So they're going to be little pointed petals like this. And we're going to put one line inside of it. It's nice and simple. Let's keep doing that. Pointed petals with one line inside. Very cute. Here's my third one. Fourth one. I find that if I don't rotate the drawing, my petals end up going in really strange directions. So I'm rotating. They don't have to be perfectly aligned, but as long as they're generally going in the right direction here, they need to radiate from that center point. So there, and this spot's a little large, but I'm going to go ahead and try and put just one petal there. I think it should be fine. So like that, like that. Right, so no worries, that petal ended up being bigger, but see, it fit just fine. So now that I have that, I think I'm going to turn this into a multi-layered flower. So right here between these two, I'm going to put more peaked petals. Very cute. So right here, and a line. I'm just going to do that all the way around. Very nice little flowers. Now here would be my challenge to you. If you're already experienced in drawing and you've got a nice flow and rhythm going with what you do, when you're done with this drawing, instead of just drawing with your pen or maybe your pencil, how about going in and adding more lines and more shading to make it look even more interesting? If you're in the mood to keep it simple, you can just draw like this. So here we go. See, it looks very nice. Nice little flowers. You can just leave it at this. I think we're going to add a few more here. Or when you're done, if you are in the right mood, keep adding more to it. You never know. You never know what you're going to create. There's always lots of fun stuff to make. So I just added another small flower. Very nice. And I think I'm at the point where I want to start adding some leaves. How about that? We got flowers, we need leaves, don't we? So here is what this little guy looks like so far. So we've got a nice, good amount of medium-sized flowers and a few small flowers. I think I'm going to start adding leaves. So this is how I want to do it. Let's just keep it simple. So I'm just going to make a small arch like this. And then, not at the end, but a little bit forward, I'm going to make my leaf shape right there, like that. That's cute. How about I add a few of these little lines for the veins? I think I'm only going to do it on one side. That's going to be my stylized leaf. I'm going to start spreading a few more around. So here's the stem. Here's the leaf part. And a few little lines right here. That's pretty cute. I like that. It doesn't have to be too complicated. Or it can be as complicated as you want it to be. You decide. How much detail you want is totally up to you. This right here is just a much simpler. Let's add another one here. Much simpler method. If you want to add more, feel free. If your imagination wakes up right now, you totally feel like you're going to add a whole bunch of lots of cool stuff right there, go for it. The whole goal is to just get you started. The goal is to get you working. Sometimes your mind just really needs this, doesn't it? Let's add another leaf right here. And you know when you need it. You know when your notebook looks lonely. You know when it's time for you to draw a few things. So here I'm just adding a few more leaves. How about over here? Simple little leaves. Looks very nice. I know it's the middle of winter for me right now, but you know what? Flowers are always good. There we go. That's pretty nice. Nice little designs. And I do have this spot over here on this kind of upper right hand corner. So I think I'm going to add a few small flowers. They're not going to be as simple as these guys here. They are going to be pretty close. So how about right here? I'm still going to start with a small circle. And I want to add some petals. Not quite like this one, but it's going to be pretty close. So let's see here. I think I want to go back to some of these rounded petals. That was really nice, but they're going to be very, very tight. So here's what I mean. These long round petals, look at how close it comes. So this flower is going to have lots and lots of petals. So I'm just going to keep working my way around. Some kind of daisy, you know? Lots of long, thin. It's okay if they're not perfect. Don't worry about it. Just work on it. Do your best. Just work your way around. So for me, it's just much easier if I rotate like this. I like that better. So I'm just working my way around. I think I can fit one more right there. Would be perfect. There we go. Last one. I like that. That looks pretty good. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way over here and I'm going to make one more flower. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to start off with a very tiny circle. Why not? And then another concentric circle around it. There we go. And then, what can I put here? I want it to be just a little different than my other flowers. How about, this is going to be a little silly. I'm going to draw this little swirl like a shell. And I'm going to make a bunch of those working my way around. So here's 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's going to be 7. 6, and squeeze the 7th one in here. Very nice. So we've got these little swirls. Okay, and I think on top of each one of these I'm going to make a petal. And again, I think today the mood is these kind of rounded petals. Like that. There. Notice that I'm going to end up with 7 petals because I'm forming them atop the curve of each one of those swirls. That's pretty good. Very cute. And I'm going to add a few lines here. It really helps show this off as a flower, I think, when we add these lines along the inside. So like that, these lines that are just kind of radiating outward from the center. It's pretty nice. Hope I'm not making you dizzy as I kind of spin this thing around, but here we go. All right. So here is what our design looks like so far, and it's just about done, I think, because again, like I said, I'm just playing around. Just playing around. So here are flowers. They look really cute. So nice. I think I can just kind of add a couple of leaves here just because it's a little lonely over here. And the leaves are pretty easy to make. Dash, 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 dash. Pretty nice. Let's add a couple more. Simple leaves. There we go. Very cute. And like I said, add more. Add more to this. Go for it. Wherever your imagination takes you right now. Add more shapes. Add more lines. I think right now, because I did do these little swirls here, I'm going to put a few throughout. That looks so cute. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle them throughout. Different sizes too. Some big ones. Some little ones. Let's see what happens. This is very cute. Maybe I can put a few of these little circles too. So I'm just going to drizzle them about. Just play around with the space. I don't have to cram things in there. It's just nice to kind of have them throughout. Some little ones and big ones. See how quickly the page fills up? It's really nice. I'm going to do a big one right here. Why not? There we go. Some little ones here. Maybe a few of these just circles. Looks really cute. This spot's kind of empty. I think I want to put a leaf here. And maybe just one more swirl here. I think that looks really nice. Alright, so there we have it. I'm just going to put one more here. I think that pretty much finishes it for me. Just a nice fun little experiment. Just so we could play around, make some flowers and some leaves. You can see this is how easy it is. You can get started doodling. Just have fun with it. Play around. Just play around with it. There's no shame in the game. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Please let me know if you give this a try, if you draw some nice little flowers for yourself. See how interesting it is. Go and get some colored pencils, get some markers, play around with this just a little bit more. Give yourself some more time for yourself.